In my previous video, we were looking at rods imaged with an infrared camera. Now let's take a deeper look into my catalog for more comparative images. On May 29th, 2009, I was at the Second Narrows Park in North Burnaby shooting 60 fields per second infrared, and this blob of light appeared and streaked across the screen. We slow that down, you can see that movement from the right side, lower right, through the center and into the upper left side of the screen, this small bundle of light moving across the field of view. A little later on, I'm shooting with the slow shutter mode, and we can see another ball of light leaving a trail as well with the slow shutter, moving erratically across the screen. Wonder what could be the cause of this image. And the still camera is able to record a moth imaged in a 1 second exposure using the flash. We can clearly see the details of the moth's wings. The moth simply isn't moving fast enough to leave a smear or obliterate such details in a 1 second exposure. On March 21st, 2009, at Jericho Beach Park in Vancouver, I was shooting 60 fields per second infrared video and recorded this tube of light, this rod moving. And as we see in the close-up, there's a trace behind the rod, and the enhanced version shows that there's color information in that trace of light as well. This is very similar to a meteor or shooting star and the trace that it leaves behind. We can see the trace here in detail. And going back to September 14th, 2005, a still photograph, a recording made in a 1/60th of a second shutter, revealing tremendous detailed information of a rod or tube of light with orbs of a variety of colors on the inside. A sensational image recorded with a still camera. Going back to March 21st, 2004, at Stanley Park in Vancouver, we see another rod image with a different camera. And an enhanced version here reveals tremendous color detail. Again, very short shutter speed, 1/30th of a second only to produce that rod image. And going back to August 9th, 2004 in Richmond, British Columbia, we're on one of the trails and we can see a rod that leaves a trail of its own, a trail of orbs and other light. And in this enhanced version, we can see that light trail accentuated. Again, a very brief shutter, 1/30th of a second to record that detailed image. Finally, August 31st, near the same location of that year, I see 12 images of a rod hovering between the camera and the tree in the background. The rod is pulsating with color and strobing as it hovers and maneuvers, and we can see that in these still frames, 12 individual frames of a rod moving through the air. And again, it's obviously between the camera and the tree. Here's the enhanced version showing tremendous surface detail and enhanced colors. All 12 frames were shot in 1/30th of a second exposure. And so we see that a moth can leave some residue on an infrared image. However, the still camera will not reveal it as a smear, whereas the infrared rods have more in common with shooting stars in that they leave colorful traces in the atmosphere. And finally, the still images are inexplicable as insects or something moving fast. It's fast in a slow shutter situation. These are all shot with shutter speeds less than 1 second, revealing tremendous detail in the images. I'm John Kelly. For more information, please visit yourinnervoice.com.